Joseph, son of Jacob, grandson of Isaac, great-grandson of Abraham, the boy of James, now walked in chains. Stripped of his robe and sold for 20 pieces of silver, he marched with traders who spoke no word of comfort. His wrists bore the burn of betrayal, his eyes the shock of abandonment. Behind him, 11 brothers, one pit, no goodbye. Before him, Egypt, mighty and foreign. It was not just distance he traveled, it was a descent, from beloved son to bound slave. Now the Ishmaelites had taken Joseph to Egypt and sold him to Potiphar, one of the king's officers, who was the captain of the palace guard. The Lord was with Joseph and made him successful. He lived in the house of his Egyptian master, who saw that the Lord was with Joseph and had made him successful in everything he did. Potiphar was pleased with him and made him his personal servant, so he put him in charge of his house and everything he owned. From then on, because of Joseph, the Lord blessed the household of the Egyptian and everything that he had in his house and in his fields. Potiphar handed over everything he had to the care of Joseph and did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. At night, Joseph would gaze at the stars, recalling dreams once spoken and misunderstood. Back in Canaan, he had dreamt of stalks of grain bowing, of stars and suns kneeling. His father Jacob had pondered those dreams. His brothers had rejected them. But here in Egypt, those dreams still burned, dimmed but not dead. Was slavery the end or path of the path? Joseph was well built and good looking, and after a while his master's wife began to desire him. He asked him to go to bed with her. He refused and said to her, "Look, my master does not have to concern himself with anything in the house because I am here. He has put me in charge of everything he has. I have as much authority in this house as he has, and he has not kept back anything from me except you. How then could I do such an immoral thing and sin against God?" Although she asked Joseph day after day, he would not go to bed with her. But one day, when Joseph went into the house to do his work, none of the house servants were there. She caught him by his robe and said, "Come to bed with me." But Joseph escaped and ran outside, leaving his robe in her hand. When she saw that Joseph had left his robe and had run out of the house, she called to her servants and said, "Look at this. This Hebrew that my husband brought to the house is insulting us. He came into my room and tried to defile me, but I screamed as loud as I could. When he heard me scream, he ran outside, leaving his robe behind." She kept the robe until Joseph's master came home. Then she told him the same story. "That Hebrew slave you brought here came into my room and tried to defile me. But when I screamed, he ran outside, leaving his robe behind." Joseph's master was furious and had Joseph arrested and put in prison, where the king's prisoners were kept, where sunlight was rare and hope even rarer. But the Lord was with Joseph and blessed him, so that the jailer was pleased with him. He put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners and made him responsible for everything that was done in the prison. The jailer did not have to look after anything for which Joseph was responsible. Betrayed by brothers, sold like goods, tempted, accused, imprisoned, and yet Joseph never lost who he was. He had no title, yet ruled with character, no sword, yet walked in strength. Even when unseen, he chose integrity. Even when unjustly wounded, he chose truth. Have you ever faced injustice? Have you ever been wrongly accused? Joseph's story teaches us that what breaks others can build us if we let it. What part of Joseph's journey resonated with you the most? What lesson will you carry with you today? Comment below and suggest which story you'd like next. Like, share, and subscribe to Echo Tales for stories that speak to your soul.